Waec Chemistry Objective 2024. This is school examination, question number 19. If you have not followed this page, kindly do, because I have solved other questions for this year, Waec 2024. Question number 19. Consider the reaction represented by the equation. So we have C3H8 and then 5 mole of oxygen gas. This is exactly how the question is written. This is exactly the question. But let's consider firstly whether the equation is balanced or not. How many carbon is here? 3. 3 carbon is here. How many hydrogen is here? 8. But if you check here, the hydrogen here is 12 because you are going to multiply 6 by 2, which is going to give you 12. Automatically, that is not correct for here. In this place, that's not correct. So let's change this value to 4 so that we can have 8 hydrogen here. Are you following? Then oxygen now, let's check for oxygen. 2 times 3, which is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Then this is 4 here, making 10. Anytime you are calculating questions involving chemical equation, please listen to this instruction. You are going to be dealing with either two reactants or one of the reactants and one of the products per time. And you must also ensure which parameters are you dealing with. Is it mole versus mole? Is this volume versus volume? Is this volume versus mass? That is very, very important because that's what I'm going to be applying in this question. So right now, the question says we should, if 0.1 mole of C3H8, it means that we are dealing with C3H8 according to the structure of the question. Was completely burnt. Okay? What volume of carbon 4? We are also dealing with carbon 4. We are dealing with C3H8 and CO2. So you are going to equate it like this, CO2, according to the structure of the question. I'm just following what the question is talking about. If you check the question very well, you will see that the question does not mention oxygen again, and the question does not mention water. So we are less concerned. And that was the first thing I mentioned the other time. Likewise, if you check, if 0.1 mole, so for this C3, we are dealing with mole, and then for carbon 4, we are dealing with what? We are dealing with volume. We are dealing with volume. So right now, that's the two things we are going to be equating together to get our answer. But from the equation, every number that you use to balance a chemical equation, that number can represent three things. That number can represent mole, that number can represent volume, that number can represent mass. We call this stoichiometry number, the coefficient that you use to balance a chemical equation. So right now, since we are dealing with mole for C3H8, the mole here is now what? 1. 1 mole of this C3H8 is equivalent to now. Here, this number is still mole. Are you following now? It's still 3 mole of what? Of CO2. But 1 mole of a gas will occupy 22.4 dm³. So right now, we just say 1 mole of this one, 1 mole of C3H8 is still equivalent to 3 multiplied by a molar volume. 1 mole of a gas will occupy 22.4 dm³. Let's now go back to the question. We have to calculate the volume, which is let's represent by X. The volume dm³ that will be produced by 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole of methylpropane. 0.1 mole of, so what are we going to do? Just cross multiply. The next action here is to cross multiply, which means that X multiplied by 1 is still 1. That is, X is equal to 0.1 multiplied by 3 times 2, 22.4 dm³. You can pick your calculator now and type the question there. So what do you get? Type this value there. What do you get? Our final answer is 6.72 dm³, which is option what? Option A. Option A. If you have understood this, check the screen. I'm going to give you a work to do. Check the screen right now. Copy the question, solve it, and drop your answer in the comment section. Thank you.